y'all doing out there? Thank you guys for clicking on the video, or you might just be catching it on the replay. So either which way, thank you. Please click the follow button. I'm trying to grow my channel. Please, thank you. Okay, I'm finished begging for now. Anyway, I would like to start today off by saying happy Sunday. I'm kind of late, but I'm on time in my mind. I'm on time. So there's a couple things that I want to talk about today, but first I want to start off by saying that, if you didn't know, T.K. Carter, from The Thing and Punky Brewster, he passed away at 69. I remember him from Punky Brewster because I used to watch that as a kid. Yeah, I actually love that show. So, T.K. Carter, the veteran actor who was memorable for his roles in The Thing, Runaway Train, Punky Brewster, he passed away. Now, Carter died at his home in California after deputies received a service call at around 5:42 p.m. on Friday, January the 9th. According to the statement obtained by people from the LA County Sheriff's Department, deputies found Carter deceased on the scene, noting that no foul play was suspected. The sheriff's office did not give any other detail on his cause of death or what, prompted the call. Now, Carter, who was born December 14th, 1956, and raised in LA, started acting in his preteens and doing stand up routines at the age of 12, according to his IMDb. By high school, Carter had acting in theater and earned a role in the Neil Simons production of The Odd Couple. He continued to work on his comedy after high school, doing stand up routines at the Comedy Store in LA, and honed his acting skills at the Improv Cafe and Yet Lee Club. I don't know what the Yet Lee Club is, but I bet it was popping when it was on. After doing some work on stage, the actor and comedian finally began appearing on screen in the 1970s, earning small roles on TV shows like Policewoman, The Waltons, The Jeffersons. He eventually got his breakout role as the character Nails the Cook in the 1982 horror film The Thing, and also earned a role as Dave Prince in 1985's Runaway Train. Around that time, Carter also got a role on the popular show Punky Brewster as Mike Fulton for 2 seasons. He also did one season of the sitcom Just Our Luck. I never heard of that. I might go on YouTube and check that out. And I like watching old TV shows. I don't know. It's nostalgic. In the 1990s, Carter starred as Iceman in the Ski Patrol and earned a voice role as Gnaw in the 1996 Space Jam. He also was featured in several TV shows at the time, including Moesha, The Steve Harvey Show, The Nanny, New York NYPD Blue. So I mean, he got a little resume. He appeared in the TV series The Corner and a series of smaller films. He did a couple smaller films like from 2000s to 2010, making appearances on things like How to Get Away with Murder, Everybody Hates Chris. I remember when he was on Everybody Hates Chris. He was the uncle. Remember he was Julius's uncle? hmm Santa and Saints and Sinners and the Bobby Brown story. Carter continued to act into the early 2020s with appearances in Fake Friends and the TV series Dave. His final TV credit was on the show The Company You Keep in 2023. So rest in peace to him. I hope that it was no foul play and they found out what happened to him, and but rest in peace to that man. You know, I was gonna go and talk about Giselle. Hey, Giselle and JV. I was gonna talk about Giselle and JV, but I think that her family is kind of doing too much. Now, somebody in her family went over there to page 6 and said that Giselle is marrying this penniless jitsu trainer and she's not thinking right, and he's gonna take all her money, all her millions, because I think she has amassed around $400 million or something like that. That's what her fortune is, and so her family is pretty scared for her, and they're calling the Jitsu man a bum. They calling him a bum. I'm not saying it, they saying it. They said the man is penniless. Now what do you call somebody that's penniless? I call him a bum. You call him what you want, but I'm gonna call him a bum. You know what? When I was in Colorado Springs, the homeless guy, no, not Colorado Springs, but in Denver, the homeless guy, by the trains, because you know how they had the trains and stuff downtown. So me and my friend we was catching the train, and so the homeless guy, he was out there, whatever. And I can't remember how it came up, but he was like, "Yeah, we're city dwellers," and I was like, "A city dweller?" He was like, "Yeah, we don't call ourselves homeless. We're city dwellers." And I was like, "You know what? It makes sense. I get it. I get it. But yeah, the pair, JV and Giselle, they had a son back in February and they tied the knot, pretty quietly in November. And the family don't like him. She has 5 sisters. And I didn't know that Giselle had a paternal twin sister. But yeah, she has 5 sisters and they're really close. Her mom passed away a couple years back. The father is still alive. And yeah, I mean, Giselle is the mom died back in January 2024. She was 75. She was battling cancer. I can't say it was breast cancer, but she had battled cancer. And then you guys know that Giselle divorced Tom Brady back in 2022, and they have the 2 kids together, a 16-year-old and a 13-year-old, a girl and a boy. But I mean, listen, if Giselle is happy, I'm happy for her. You know what I mean? You can At some point people just stop caring about money. She has $400 million. She has $400 million. Come on. Even if he took 100 million, she's not going to the poorhouse. Even if she gave him 10 million. This lady is not stupid. I think people forget that women are Y. I'm sorry, XX chromosome and men are XY. It's a defect. That Y, that small Y is a defect off of that X. No, nothing against my men. I loves my men. I do. But I don't know why people think that women are just stupid. Now, don't get me wrong. We might play ignorant to some things. But overall, that lady know exactly what she doing. She loved that man. She wanted a baby with that man, and poof, there it is. But I tell you one thing, it's not a revenge baby. That's what it's not. It's not a revenge baby. But needless to say, Giselle, live your life. People gonna hate whether you do good things, bad things, in between things. It don't even matter. Oh, I just finished the episode of Traders, but I'm gonna get to that in a minute. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. And if y'all not watching Traders, y'all need to get on it. I watched season 2. I missed season 3. I'm on season 4 now. Did I watch season 1? I think I did watch season 1 and season 2 because I tried to start it from the beginning, but I know I didn't watch season 3. I'm not sure why I didn't watch season 3. I don't know. But anyway, congratulations to Giselle, and just live your life. You know what I'm saying? You have to live it for yourself, or who else you gonna live it for? Hmm? Hmm? Now let's move on to Rihanna. Now I don't know if you guys are gonna be happy to hear about this, but I mean, I guess I am because I shop at TJ Maxx and Marshall. You judge me if you want to, but you can always catch me at a sale. Now, this is relating to the Fenty Beauty, right? Because people are wondering, is Fenty Beauty in trouble? Rihanna's makeup is showing up at TJ Maxx, and it has fans asking questions, right? Okay, not good questions. It's amazing how when stuff is affordable, people are asking questions, but when it's just ridiculously expensive, no questions. Just give, give, give. We really got it messed up. We really need to work on ourselves. Anyway, now y'all know that Rihanna built that Fenty Beauty into one of the most powerful beauty brands in the world. I know I got a lot of her stuff. I do. I do. It was gifted though, because it's expensive. So you know how like when somebody be like, "Well, what you like?" You always tell them something that you really don't want to pay for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, "Hey, give me this." Cute, right? Anyway, so from record-breaking launches to redefining inclusivity in cosmetics, the brand quickly became a global standout. But now, fans are starting to ask an uncomfortable question. Is Fenty Beauty struggling? Now, rumors about financial trouble have been quietly circulating for months, and I did report on it. So now, if you hit that follow button, then you will have heard. Just hit the follow button. Dang, got me over here on Chef. I'm on Chef. I'm on Dowman. I'm out here hitting the streets. I'm walking on these concrete. Now, like I said, so the circulation about financial trouble has been, been ongoing, but they got louder after an article last month claimed that that LVMH, which is Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy. I have some stock in it. That's why I know what that is. Anyway, Rihanna's business partner in the brand may be looking to cut ties and sell off its equity stake in Fenty. Now, that's why well, I got into it before Fent, but then when Rihanna got into it, then I bought some more. Now, according to the report, it's been slowish sales were, allegedly behind the potential exit. Now, at the time, many fans, brush it off as speculation, right? You know what I mean? Now, however, social media is adding fuel to the fire. From Sephora to TJ Maxx, fans spot, Fenty at discount stores. Over the past few weeks, multiple users on TikTok, Instagram, X have posted videos showing Fenty beauty products appearing at discount retailers like TJ Maxx and Marshalls, often marked down with steep price cuts. I'm for it. If I could get something for $5 and it was 25, I'm hey, what you want me to do? It's a deal. Now, the clips are quickly going viral on social media, which is shocking fans to the point that these were not, like tiny clearance bins, right? Like these were visible product displays. Now, for beauty insiders, this does raise an eyebrow. Typically, high end prestige brands avoid off price retailers unless they are struggling to move inventory. Discount chains are where excessive stocks often end up. You know what I mean? When products are not selling fast enough through the traditional luxury channels. In other words, seeing a brand like Fenty at TJ Maxx is not exactly the flex it once would have been. For them, yes. For me, well, for them, no. For me, yes. Experts say, off price placement does not automatically mean a brand is failing per se, right? Sometimes companies use discount retailers to clear out old packaging, discontinue shades, or over ordered inventory. But when it appears repeatedly and at a scale, it can signal slowing demand. That is what has fans connecting the dots between the rumor with the LVMH exit and then the sudden wave of discontinued Fenty products. Okay, now see, I didn't know that they was discontinuing certain products. Cause when you get on like TikTok, you see them pushing that body butter or body cream or whatever. You know what I mean? Now, if the sales are not moving as expected through to traditional channels, brands often, look for faster ways to recoup their costs, which makes sense. And for a luxury brand such as Fenty, this can be risky for them. Now, once consumers get used to buying a product at a discount, it can weaken the brand's, that premier image, right? Beauty shoppers begin to ask, why am I paying the full price when I could just go to Marshalls? And you are correct, because I think about that all the time. Like, I'd be like, why would I pay for all that when I could go right over there to the TJ Maxx and I could get it all with the little red sticker? Or if you go, you take what you want and then you get you a couple of those little stickers and then you go up in the back and then you just put the little red on top of the never mind. The earlier report claiming that LVMH may be seeking to sell its stake in the Fenty Beauty only adds to the speculation. Like I said, the article suggests that the slowing down of the growth, because I guess that they projected it to be like this and it's really not, right? Now, neither LVMH nor Rihanna has publicly confirmed any plans to part ways, and Fenty Beauty has not issued a statement addressing the discount store sightings. Still, fans online are reading between the lines. One commenter said that first that LVMH rumors, now Fenty's at TJ Maxx, something isn't adding up. Now, let's be fair, right? Fenty Beauty is no longer the new brand it once was. The beauty market is more crowded than ever. You have a lot of celebrity backlines launching almost monthly. Competition is fierce. Trends move faster, and even powerhouse brands most consistently, they reinvent themselves to stay on top. Some supporters argue that off price retail does not equate to decline, just strategic inventory management in a tough economy, right? And I can go with that. Others believe it is a warning sign that the brand's momentum may be slowing down. What makes this moment so surprising is that Fenty was once seen as untouchable. Rihanna was the blueprint, and everybody else was following. And we still are. We love Rihanna. Seeking Fenty Beauty and, like seeing it over in discount stores, I'm going to look for it. I'm going to be seeking it out. I'm going to be looking for it because I like the stuff. I really do. It's good. It's good stuff, and I'm okay with getting it at the price that they probably. I mean, we still overpaying for it anyway. One tube probably cost them $1. They selling it for 50. It's on sale for 10. They still winning. What we complaining for? Like, do you really want to play? You want to pay 10, 20 times how much it really costs? I don't understand people sometimes. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can have a Balenciaga bag, and I can have that same looking bag. And the only difference is your bag came out the front door, mine came out the back door. But you paid 3,000 for yours. I paid $30 for mine. You get what I'm saying? Who really winning? I'm winning. I am winning. Because if you have a bag that costs $3,000 and you don't have $3,000 in your account, you're a fool. Okay? If I have a $30 bag and I got $3,000 in my account, you have a $3,000 bag and have nothing in your account. Who is the fool? I'm not saying for my girlies who got it, who can buy it 5 times. I'm not talking to you, fool. I'm not talking to you. I'm just saying you got to think smarter, not harder. You get what I mean? Take your ass down there to TJ Maxx. Go over there to Marshalls. Ain't nothing wrong with them stores. What's wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? Do y'all know that people are looking for people who are out here shining? You know, they got people who spend their days looking for people who walking around with Chanel shoes on. You get what I'm saying? They waiting and they looking for you. You don't see billionaires walking around here. You know how you gotta look with money? You know how you ever seen a shirt? You like how much, like what's the name? Mark Zuckerberg. He walk around in $1,000 t-shirts, but they don't have no name, no nothing. You get what I'm saying? You have to learn, not you in particular, but I'm just saying. I think sometimes people just feel like the more I pay, the better it is, and that's not always the case. You get what I'm saying? I remember a couple years back when Jay Z and Beyonce was down in New Orleans, and they was doing the on the run or whatever. And my cousin and I, we paid $60 for 2 tickets for the flow because her husband cousin worked at the Superdome. You know how they go. So he was like, "Look, if y'all want to get in, give me $30 a piece. We're gonna lay it on." Blah blah blah. We got in there. I was so close. I could have touched Jay Z's shoe. That's right down the floor. $30. You know how probably some of them people probably paid $3,000 for it. 1,500, $30. My point is, they probably all I paid 3,000 to be down here. I paid 30. Now who's the fool? Who is the fool? I'm not calling you a fool, but I'm just saying bragging to overpay is idiotic. It is idiotic. It really is. But what do you think? Is Fent simply clearing inventory, or is this just a beginning of a bigger shift behind the scenes? Because I do believe that the culture is going in a different direction. Where it's going, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna be here for it, but at the end of the day, if you happy to pay $100 for an eyeliner, and I could go to Sally's and get 10 of them holes for $1, I'm gonna need you to go and sit down and go touch grass. Now, it's 2026 is starting off already with troubling news. I told you guys about TK Carter, and here it is. Media outlets are reporting about Bill Cosby. The legendary yet deeply listen, y'all know the man is controversial. Y'all know that the comedian and actor has been quietly dealing with a lot of court issues. So, hey, so what they're saying is that he has a potential serious medical issue And according to people close to him, the situation has many in his inner circle extremely worried. Now, people have spoke to close sources of the Cosby family who told that Bill, who is now 89 years old, has been suffering from a series of troubling health problems in recent weeks. While the exact details of his condition are being kept private, HIPAA, we are told that Cosby is currently resting and spending time with family and a small group of close friends, right? Y'all remember when he was outside that courthouse and he did that meme, that famous meme that went around? Anyway, now, people are saying that it's not just routine aging. There have been some issues that really have people preparing themselves for the worst. Those worries are amplified by Cosby's long history of serious medical complications. In 2019, while serving his prison sentence, Cosby's long-term publicist Andrew White revealed that the entertainer had undergone two life-sustaining surgeries, wow, to clear blockages in his arteries, a condition that can significantly increase the risk of strokes. At the time, Wyatt said the procedures were necessary to prevent potential fatal outcomes. Now, Cosby's health was already a concern during his incarceration. The former TV icon, who had previously gone blind due to glaucoma, was described by those around him as physically frail while behind bars. His legal team repeatedly cited medical issues when seeking, special treatment and accommodations during his imprisonment. As most people remember, Cosby was convicted in 2018 of drugging and sexual assault of Andrea Constant in a case that rocked the entertainment industry and forever reshaped his public image, right? He was sentenced to up to 10 years in prison and served more than 2 years before his conviction was overturned by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court in June 2021 on a legal technicality. He was released from prison just hours after the ruling. Since his release, Cosby has largely stayed out of the spotlight, making only occasional public statements and rare appearances through his representation. While he has maintained his innocence, the court of public opinion has remained sharply divided, with many viewing his legacy through the lens of the dozens of women who accused him of the sexual misconduct over, the several decades. Now, with his health reportedly deteriorating, those closest to him are, said to be focused solely on his well being. He's at home, resting, surrounded by people who love him, but there's definitely a sense that time is precious right now. Oh, that's just so sad. Now, the the phrase that stood out the most from like the conversations that people were saying was that people are wondering if the end is near, right? That sentiment reflects both Cosby's advanced age and the seriousness of what are being, what people are saying was happening behind the closed doors. As for now, okay, calm down for my Cosby people. As for now, Cosby representation have not released any official statement regarding his current condition, but multiple insiders tell, like Media Takeout and People, that his recent health struggles are far more concerning than anything he has faced publicly since his release. Whether the world chooses to remember Bill Cosby as a groundbreaking entertainer, a disgraced public figure, or both, one thing is undeniable. His life and legacy continue to stir powerful emotions. And now, as those closest to him brace for what may come next, the story of Bill Cosby appears to be entering its final and most fragile, chapter. I mean, we all die eventually, right? So, I mean, it's just sad when you have to see your loved one pass off because they're not looking at him like we look at him. I mean, I don't look at him no kind of which way to be honest with you, but you get what I'm saying. It's still just sad. You don't have to have empathy or sympathy. Well, you can have one or the other. Yeah, I don't know. What y'all think? Do y'all even care? I mean, some people are just through with him because of all the sexual allegations or whatnot, and I'm on board with that. You get what I'm saying? You've been drugging women for all these years, quaalubing here and quaalubing there, and all this other ratchet stuff. telling black boys to pull up their pants while you sliding yours down. So I don't know, man. I mean, he's 89. He's did a lot of terror in his life. So for some people, they might be applauding this. They might look at that as a great day when he passed away. I personally, I don't get off on people's pain. So I just wish he and his family the best in whatever happens. He is turning 90. So I mean, it is what it is. I have a grandmother who she's about to be 100. So I mean, if I get the phone call that she has went on to glory, I'm not gonna be surprised. I'm gonna be sad, but I'm also gonna be happy too because she's gonna get to go be with her mom and her dad and all the rest of our family that's on the other side. That's that vibrations that we feel, and you get what I'm saying? I don't know. You ever got hugged by your ancestors? I know I have. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead on and move on to traders. Isn't that a good segue from Cosby to traders? Okay, so now I told y'all that I'm watching Traders, right? I'm catching up. Now, Portia Williams says she feels cheated by her early exit. Calls out cutthroat Candace Dillard, says she was a flat out liar. So I had to go and watch the episode because, like I said, I seen it season 1 and season 2, but I didn't watch season 3, and now here we are, season 4. So Portia Williams is speaking out on her early exit from the Peacock show Traders, calling out Candace Dillard Bassett, in particularly for her deceitful action despite them being, both housewives. She said, I thought we were supposed to stick together, which they should have, but it is a game, and $250,000 is on the line. So on Thursday, December the 8th, yeah, yeah, I'm just catching up, right? So season 4 of the reality show, it kicked off with 3 episodes featuring alliances, paranoia, and power plays, because that's really what the game is about. It also featured Portia Williams becoming the very first person to be banished after she ignited suspicion with her own actions. Now, Williams is not a traitor. That distinction belongs to fellow Bravo celebrities Candace Dillard, because she ended up becoming a traitor, and then Lisa Rinna, and the guy Rob R from Love Island USA. If y'all watch Love Island USA, then y'all know who I'm talking about. Okay, now in the exit interview with Shadow and Act, Portia said the fallout and the speed at which she was voted out left her, she was mad. She also flat out said she felt cheated out of her experience, especially considering that she thought she was a strong player. So in quote, she says, I feel cheated. I really do. The fans feel cheated too. There was a missed opportunity there. I had so much greatness I was going to bring, and so did some of my, partners on the show. I've definitely been in my feelings about it ever since. I was super excited to be there and see how it all played out. I wasn't ready for how dirty it got. I've watched other seasons and I feel like the lies and setups usually come later on. But I think they knew I was a strong player, so they pulled out all the stops early. It took multiple angles to get me out. She went on to say that let's see here. Portia says she entered the round table where she got banished following feeling confident only to finally realize how her words and the motives of others had been reframed. Now, I will say, do they have audio? Let me see if they got some audio on this because is this audio? Let me see here.
Push up.
Hold on, let me see here.
Have nothing. I do not, I cannot, I can look at each person and I cannot get a feel. Like I feel real crazy.
Okay, yeah, let me see here. What else they have? Because that was just her trying to defend herself. Let's see.
I don't think I'd cop him because I don't know anyone.
Right.
So I feel like I can't judge.
Okay, so let me tell y'all what had happened and why she should feel that way. Wait, hold on. Let me see how much more of this we got. Yeah, so she was feeling some type of way, but listen, this is what happened. So Portia, y'all know how Portia always mixing up her words. Remember when she was like, it's 265 days in a year versus 365, and where's the underground, where's the door to the Underground Railroad and all this other stuff, right? So she said one comment she had made where she was like, "Well, when we kill Ian," and so the guy was like, "We," and she was talking as if she was a traitor, and then her and the way she was trying to explain it was like, "Well, I'm trying to put myself in the mind frame of the traitors, and because I'm a faithful, so I'm trying to think how the traitors are talking." And if you don't watch the show, then you really not understanding what I'm saying. So it's like 22 people, and they put them in this castle, and then 3 people are traitors, and so the faithful have to figure out who the traitors are and get rid of them. And if they figure out who the traders are, then you win. And it's 250K on the line, right? And so this season they did a surprise where they had actually 4 traders. One trader they put out in the beginning, but you don't know who it is, and then the 3 traders who they know who each other, who they are. And so it was just the way that Portia was talking and how they just was listening to the words she was saying. Because even knowing that she wasn't a traitor, I thought she was a traitor, and I knew she wasn't a traitor because it was just the things that she was saying. And then it was another, when she's identifying Candace because they were on their way back from a mission or, one of their little exercises, and Candace had said that Michael Rappaport made a comment about putting the casket in one of the housewives' graves. And so Portia heard her because they all in the car together. They all talked. So Portia heard her and she repeated it and was like, "What? He said that?" And yeah. So when they get back to the house and Michael Rappaport is having a conversation and Portia happens to be over there, and Portia was like, "Oh, well, I heard that you said that you wanted to put one of the housewives' great caskets in the grave," and he was like, "I didn't say that. Who said that?" And so they went to Candace, and Candace was like, "I didn't. I said it, but I meant he said that yesterday." And so it made Portia look like a liar, and Portia she pulled back and she backtracked and she was like, "Well, you know what? Maybe I didn't hear it the way that I heard it." Okay, because they also had a third party in the vehicle, and that person was like, "Oh, I didn't even hear anything." It was like, "Girl, you heard it because you commented too." I can't stand a scary bitch. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, so Candace did set Portia up, which was effed up. And if you go and you watch the show, then you will see you be like, yeah, Portia didn't deserve to be kicked out so early. That's why I went back to go and watch it because I was like, okay, well, let me go before, because Portia has her stuff. And I'm not just gonna judge her from Housewives and all the crazy antics outside of Housewives. Like, let me go and see what happened. And all day long, Portia should have stayed because they mixed her work. Yeah, it's 50-50. Like you screwed yourself by not watching your words around these people, and they already suspicious. So anything you say, they gonna latch on to. And so they used that plus the fact that she had retracted what she had said, even though it was what it was. But she was trying to, like, okay, well, Candace, maybe I did misunderstand what you said. But when you watch the video, it's clear as day. Candace did say it, and Candace did stroke that fire that ultimately got Portia kicked out. So yes, I can understand why she feels some type of way. I really do. I really do. But looking back, Portia said that she doesn't have any regrets about, being assertive, and she wishes that she had been more selective with whom she had trusted. So yeah, cause baby, when I tell you Miss Candace Dillard, that heifer right there didn't care. She trying to get that money. Dorothy is tired of paying for her stuff. We gonna get to you in a minute, Donnie. You know, when are we gonna just start loving ourselves? I mean, we love ourselves, but truly love ourselves. Love when you look in the mirror and you see that person, flaws and all. You get what I'm saying? You got a couple dark spots on your face, or your back wide, or it ain't wide enough, or what I'm saying, flat booty, or your stomach look like it been ran over a couple times by a tractor trailer in the snow. I don't know. But you get what I'm saying? You still love who you are. You love the skin that you're in. I said all that to say this here. Summer Walker gets more surgery. And there's a new trend. It's a new trend. It's sweeping Hollywood and social media. And it's called the Barbie BBL. Okay. I thought a BBL was to make you have that Barbie look, but okay. Unlike the dramatic curves of the traditional Brazilian BBL, you know, whatever, this new procedure is being described as a slimmer, more sculpted version designed for women who have already lost a significant amount of weight. And according to fans online, R&B singer Summer Walker may have been the latest celebrity to try it. Okay. So what exactly is a Barbie BBL? Let's break this down, okay? Because I don't know. Now, doctors and beauty insiders say that the procedure is usually performed after extreme weight loss, especially the kind many women are experiencing from diet medications like the Ozempic and similar drugs, right? As fat rapidly disappears from the body, patients are often left with, with a much smaller frame, sometimes with a flatter backside and less defined curves. That's where the Barbie BBL comes into play. Mm-hmm. They doing anything, child. Did y'all hear about them taking fat from cadavers and putting it in people's bodies? It, God, it's becoming too much. It's really becoming too much. Now, instead of creating a dramatic volume like the old school BBLs, oh my God, now they saying the BBLs are old school now. Child, surgeons reportedly take whatever fat remains on the body and strategically repositions it to the hips and the butt. The goal is a tiny waist, smooth lines, and a curvy lower half that, still looks slim and snatched, right? Think less extreme hourglass and more doll like proportions, hence the name Barbie. Okay. Now, in recent months, Summer Walker has appeared noticeably slimmer than ever before. Fans quickly began commenting on her dramatic weight loss, with many speculating that she may have used, the weight loss injections like Ozempic, right? But what really caught people's attention was her shape afterwards. Despite losing a significant amount of weight, her hips and backside still appeared full and perfectly contoured. Now y'all see that image? Look at the computer. Look at it. Look at your computer. Look at your phone. Okay. Okay. That's when the rumor started. Across social media, fans began whispering that Summer may have undergone the Barbie BBL to redistribute the remaining fat in her body and maintain her signature curves. While the singer has not confirmed having any cosmetic surgeries, which she has said that she doesn't mind them, the visual change has been enough to spark nonstop conversation, right? Because people see. Now, some fans are praising the look, calling it clean, snatched, and more natural than the BBLs that dominated social media over the past decade. Others are questioning whether the pressure on women in entertainment to consistently alter their bodies is getting out of control. Either way, the Barbie BBL is now officially in the spotlight. Plastic surgeons say this trend reflects a major shift in beauty standards. In the past, the goal was bigger, rounder, and more dramatic. Today, especially in the Ozempic era, the look is slimmer, more redefined, and tightly sculpted. Women want curves, but they also want to look small, toned, and delicate at some point. They don't want to go to the gym. And I know people always say, go to the gym. And I get it. Sometimes it's just hard to work out certain areas, but come on now. And then they be turning their bodies in. Like I seen this one girl was saying that it's like your second or third round of BBL is when you get the body that you want. What? What do you mean the second or third round? The first round. What are you talking about? I'm about the first round you go and then it's kind of like the first round you go and then they do all that stuff and then the second time they fix it. I don't know. Listen, I don't know. Leave your bodies alone. Because to me, you're gonna just be turning your bodies in every 6, 9 months, turning your bodies in like a car. You know what I'm saying? Like how you take your car and get like a tune up and stuff. Because that fat start to dissipate in areas. Because fat it starts to, turn into liquid and you pee it out or whatever. And here it is, when you see them girls with the ant bodies, with their legs look like sticks and then their butts be sticking out. And then you like, come on now, your thighs and it's not matching at all, right? But whatever. Summer has the money to do it, and if she want to do it, then whatever, whatever. Now, if Summer did choose to enhance her figure after weight loss, many fans agree the results are, they polish. It's a little, it's polished. It ain't overboard. Others argue that she looks just as beautiful as she has always, right? Regardless of surgeries or not. Because she is a beautiful woman, so you can't take that away from her. But it's just something up there in the head that you gotta think, like, why? You get what I mean? Like, what sane person would actually just go and just sit on the table to get cut on for no reason? Huh? You know what I mean? Huh? Huh? Now, one thing is certain, the Barbie BBL is quickly becoming the newest buzzword in celebrity beauty culture. And with more stars losing weight rapidly and chasing the perfect silhouette, this may only be the beginning of another cosmetic wave. We're gonna sit back and watch this, girls. For all my girls who confident in what they confident in their skin that they in. We're gonna sit back and watch. Cause when we get in our 60s and 70s and 80s and we still looking good, and they because at some point you can't do the surgeries no more. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get scared. You don't want to be a Joan Rivers. You get what I'm saying? You don't want to be Kanye West's mother. You know, at a certain point, it's certain things that you just can't let your body do. Your body just can't even help. Your body can't help it. It just can't do it. You can't do all this to me no more. But whatever the case may be, what y'all think? I mean, is it BBL a glow up, or is it just the latest example of Hollywood mental BS, right? I don't know, because it's an unrealistic body standard, and then you pushing people to the surgeon table. And I mean, I like doctors, but damn, I'm not about to be I'm not about to be your guinea pig. What y'all think? Y'all think Summer crazy for doing all this, or y'all think that it's a bigger plot to the twist? You know? Or is it a twist to the plot? Eh. Now, okay. Now, if we're gonna be talking about bodies, we got to talk about Cardi B's body since the baby, right? Now, everybody knows that when you have. I hope everybody knows. Let me stop being so presumptuous. I hope everybody knows that when a woman has a baby, that her body changes. Some for the good, some for the bad. When I had my daughter, who is an adult now, so I don't have any kids, my body, it changed for the good. It didn't stay. I don't know. It was like I just woke up one morning. It was like Robin Hood came and just stole it from me. I'm talking about I had some. The breast was nice. The butt hair went out, like the hips. Like I'm talking, and the stomach was flat, flat. I'm talking about flat to the point where when I left the hospital, the nurses was like, "Dang, you don't even look like you had a baby." I know, cause I ate well and I wasn't a big girl previously. I've always been slim. Anyway, but I got a cousin who I mean, she was always fine. And then she had her first child. She got 5 kids now, but her first child did her in. Like, cause she ate like a lot of Burger King and stuff while she was pregnant. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, she really ate Burger King like 3 times a day. Like, she was one of them people who just kind of just ate. And when she had that boy, it was never the same. I'm talking about never the same after that. But I digress. Please hit that follow button, like, share. Please hit the follow button. I just really want the follow button. I don't really care if you like it or share it. Just hit the follow button. You'll come back. Anyway, or you might just found me randomly like scrolling on TikTok. Is that how a lot of people do? Y'all just be scrolling on TikTok and then y'all just hear somebody and then y'all just kind of click on the video and then see what they talking about. And if you don't like what they talking about, then you just click off. Because I normally do that too. So either which way, if you hear me this much, hit that follow button for me, baby. Thank you kindly, please, and thank you. Okay, so let's talk about Cardi B real quick. Now, Cardi B's body has always been a topic of conversation, but after welcoming her fourth child, Revenge Baby, fans are once again zooming in on every curve, angle, and Instagram post. Y'all see that? Look at you, look at you, look at your phone, look at your phone, look at your phone. Okay. Okay, so people are paying attention. And this time, many people believe pregnancy may have done something even Cardi herself has openly discussed in the past. It appears her butt has dropped. Now, for those unfamiliar with the term butt dropping, It's something that can happen when someone has undergone extensive BBL surgery. Okay. Now, over time, gravity, aging, weight, weight changes, and especially pregnancy can cause the transferred fat to shift, downward. Instead of sitting up and round, the shape can start to look lower, heavier, and sometimes uneven. It kind of gives like a diaper booty, right? Okay. Now, beauty experts say pregnancy is one of the biggest stress tests on cosmetic body work. Rapid weight gain, stretching skin, and post baby body changes can all affect how surgically enhanced figures hold up. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk something that you did was messed up by Mother Nature? Wow. And when someone has had multiple procedures, the risk of visible changes become, even greater. Now, fans believe that Cardi may be experiencing just that, right? Recently, social media users began pointing out that Cardi's backside appears lower than it once did. And some calling it, just straight up calling it a drop. Similar conversations have followed other celebrities over the years, including Kim Kardashian and several reality stars whose bodies visibly changed after pregnancies. While no doctor has examined Cardi publicly and the rapper has not confirmed anything, the online chatter has been nonstop. Now, y'all see the picture, it's going to come up again. Still, Cardi doesn't seem bothered in the slightest. In true Cardi fashion, she took to social media showing off her post baby body in a jaw dropping $10,000 skin scale dress. The form fitting look hugged every curve, and Cardi confidently posed, danced, and let the camera capture her from every angle. Whether fans were critiquing or praising, one thing is clear: Cardi was unbothered. She may seem unbothered, but the way she go off, she's very bothered. Very, very bothered. But she's not too bothered about Selena Powell talking about Offset and his pillow talk. But she's bothered by Cardi, but she's bothered by Jessica Wu saying she had a revenge baby. She's bothered by Tasha K. Well, we get that part. So we get that. But she's not bothered that her ex-husband was pillow talking with Selena Powell, who went on her podcast, Two Girls from Mars, and basically told her business. I ain't heard her say jack shit to her yet, but you know how that go, right? Birds of a feather. Mm. Now, of course, some viewers were quick to point out that the video appeared heavily filtered. Lighting, angles, editing, and digital smoothing. Because I did look at the video. You can tell when it looked like somebody to mess with it, right? And Cardi herself has previously acknowledged using cosmetic enhancements and not pretending her body is all natural. In the past, she has been refreshingly honest, right? Because she do talk about her plastic surgery, and she said she loved it. And she talks about the motherhood and how pregnancy impacted her body. So I mean, she's pretty open with what she got going on to a certain degree. What makes this moment different is Cardi's attitude. Instead of hiding or downplaying the changes, she seems to be owning them. No excuses, no long explanations, just confidence. Many fans actually applaud her for that. In a world where celebrities are expected to snap back instantly after giving birth, which she proudly posted after all three of her kids. Cardi is showing that bodies change, even famous ones, with access to the best surgeons and trainers, right? Some supporters say the real glow up is her self assurance, not the shape of her curves. I just get so sick of people sometimes. People out, oh God. Yeah. Others, however, question whether extreme cosmetic surgery sets women up for long term issues, especially when pregnancy enters the picture. The conversations quickly shift from gossip to a broader debate about beauty standards, surgical culture, and what happens years after the procedure. Because that's what you should focus on. What is going to happen moving forward? What's going to happen? At the end of the day, Cardi B is still who she is. She's rich, confident ish, and completely unapologetic. I don't believe that. confident. I think confidence is in the eyes of the beholder because it's not giving confidence. I think a real confident person is someone who doesn't go and get any surgeries done. Somebody who stand 10 toes down on what they look like. You get what I'm saying? Like this is me. This is me. This is how I am. Put me in a good garter belt. Put me on one of them butt pads or something like that. But I'm not going to get anything injected in and out. Now, I might get something sucked out, but I'm not getting anything put in or whatever because my body might not want it. And so, whether her body has changed, dropped, shift, or simply evolved after 4 pregnancies, she's clearly not letting the internet, opinions dictate how she feels about herself, which is great because at the end of the day, it is your body. Whether you jack it up like a 18 wheeler on 38 or whatever, or if you keep it like a Cadillac on 4 flats, that's your body. So whatever you feel comfortable with, that's what you feel comfortable with. But she's walking around proudly in this $10,000 dress, showing her body. I guess that's to show us that, hey, take it or leave it. Cardi B is just who she is. I think that she had a good run while she had it. She used the industry for what she needed it for. And it's just what it is. You get what I'm saying? Like I want to see what's gonna happen with these concert tickets and sales because I mean, is she even practicing or what? Because she be on the internet so much. I'm trying to figure out that's why I might not too much care for all of Beyonce, but her work ethics, you can't. It's undeniable. You can't mess with it. You can tell she puts in the time. Beyonce could be on the internet 24/7, 7 days a week. We would never know it. She got a Finsta account. We all know she got a Finsta account. But the fact that she puts in so much hard work and dedication, and she earns it. This whole Cardi B thing, like it's really it just goes to show it was really more about Nicki Minaj than Cardi B. You get what I'm saying? It was just it's I don't know. If you know, you know. Needless to say, these girls out here doing anything for anything. I refuse. Mm, let me look. Is that picture coming back up? Cause she look a hot ass mess. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Her butt look like it's damn near about to touch the floor. It's ridiculous. And people be talking about some body goals. Look at that. That's not body goals. Look at that. Look at that. It looks painful. Ooh, Lord Jesus. You know what? Sometimes you just gotta leave well enough alone. You do. You gotta leave well enough alone. But did y'all hear about the Ohio dentist and his wife that had been, unalive? Child. Okay, so I just threw that one in there just because I seen this and then it came up on my feed and I was like, oh my God, because I remember hearing about it and then I didn't hear anything else. And then it came up this morning at 10:50 Eastern time. And I said, oh, they got an update. So let me tell y'all about that case just in case y'all look, it's a need to know for me. Okay. Now, a neighbor of Michael David McKee, the man who has been charged with 2 counts of murder in connection with the death of his ex-wife Monique Tipa and her husband Spencer Tipa, okay, has spoken out about the shocking tragedy. Now, McKee, 39, was arrested and charged on Saturday, January the 10th, after Monique 39, and Spencer, 37, were fatally shot inside their home in Columbus, Ohio on December 30th. Their 2 young children were later found physically unharmed. So perfect, great, 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 right? Because it's nothing worse than leave the babies alone. Leave kids alone. Why people always want to mess with the children? That's because they're innocent. And evil loves innocence. Oh, I wish we could just get rid of all the evil in the world. Now, following McKee's arrest, his neighbor told ABC 7 Chicago he did not seem like somebody who would do something like that. Isn't that what they always say? I mean, if I met a murderer, I would want to not meet him in the state of murdering or in a murderous mind. I would want to meet him like, what's up? Oh my God, you're a murderer? Oh, Jesus, I wouldn't have never thought. He was so nice. You get what I'm saying? Right, right. So the lady went on to say, I sat down with this man and I talked with this man at the pool. We barbecued, we barbecued on beautiful days. And then he turns out to be a killer? It's kind of shocking. And yeah, you're right, ma'am. It is shocking. Now, McKee was arrested and charged, like I said, with 2 counts of murder on January the 10th, according to the Franklin County Municipal Court documents viewed by People magazine. Now, the sheriff's office court records show that McKay was booked shortly after 12 p.m. local time. He will remain there until authorities extradite him to Franklin County, where he is scheduled for a hearing on Monday, tomorrow. Now, the tapes were found dead after friends and coworkers made several 911 calls requesting a welfare check. One coworker was concerned after they tried contacting Spencer 3 times, while another friend calling from outside the couple's residence told dispatchers he could hear their children, ages 4 and 1, crying inside. According to the complaint obtained by People, police were able to identify the suspect as McKay by using neighborhood video surveillance to link a car to him, right? Authorities then found evidence of McKay in possession of the vehicle prior to and after the homicide. So he didn't even try to get rid of the vehicle, child. I don't know. He don't know what year we living in? It's amazing how they can track a killer from when he walked out his door to when he did the unaliving to when he went to wherever he was going and all that. But if you say it's a missing kid that was playing on the corner, they can't never find it. They can't never track the child down. They can't never find the location, no video, no evidence, no nothing. And isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? We can never find children, but we can always find a murderer. You get what I'm saying? We can never really find rapists, but we can always find sometimes the murderer. And then depending on who was murdered. Ooh, I wonder if they're going I don't know if they're gonna monetize this because I said murderer. Anyway, it don't even matter. Now the office of the coroners at the Franklin County Forensic Science Center told people the apparent cause of death of, the couple were gunshot wounds. An official cause of death for both has yet to be released, pending other details, including a toxicology report. They got to do the standard stuff. That's his crazy self. Look. That's him. That's the crazy one to the right. Okay. Now, in an incident report reviewed by People, the Columbus Division of Police say that Monique and Spencer were pronounced deceased at the scene, and then the family members have created a GoFundMe for the children. So I just wanted to throw that in there because I did see what somebody said that she was only married to the guy McKee for 2 years and divorced him over 10 years ago with no kids in the marriage. This guy harbored some really deep hatred and resentment if he's the killer. They saying that it makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, people need to learn how to move on after people need to lead people need to learn how to move on after a relationship because that's crazy. Cuz see, I didn't know that she hadn't been with this man for over 10 years. That is diabolical. That's diabolical. And don't he think he would have I mean, the neighbor I don't get you know what? I just feel bad for those babies cuz they have no parents now. And that's just so sad. And damn, why would you still? I'm gonna keep following this because he can't. I'm gonna put it in my mind. He can't be the killer. There's no way he's the killer. 10 years later, like y'all were only married 2 years. It's been 10 years. She done remarried, had kids, and now you decide that you want to go and be a murderer. But I'm telling you, it's in some people' blood. Some people just can't help it. They can't help it. It's in their blood to be just hateful, hateful people. You hear me? Some people they just can't help it. But my grandma always say, poisonous or not, you just leave snakes outside. You take what you want with that. But I listen to my grandma. My grandma say you keep the snakes outside. Keep them outside and away. So you never have to worry about the play. Okay? Okay? Hmm. Well. If you're sensitive, please leave. Please. Because it's Sunday. And I don't know. I don't, I can't get canceled because I ain't got enough people on my following list to get canceled. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, if you're sensitive, please leave because this right here, I'm just so sick of these church people. Now, Donnie McClurkin denied the allegations in a lawsuit, which was filed by a man who says he sought out the pastor after reading his book about overcoming the curse of homosexuality. Okay. Okay. Now let's listen, people. Now, Donnie McClurkin, y'all know who that is. He's a Grammy winning gospel singer and pastor. Sexually abused a young man over several years and wrote an apology email declaring himself a dirty old man, according to a new lawsuit. Now, Giuseppe Carletto, okay, says in the lawsuit that he was struggling to reconcile his sexuality with his faith when he sought out Donnie McClurkin back in 2003. The lawsuit says that he then, 21, went to McClurkin's church in Long Island, New York. Oh, I didn't know that's where his church was at. Okay. After reading his autobiography book, which described how God helped him overcome the curse of homosexuality. Hmm. Well, now that's interesting. Now, at the church event, McCurkland talked about being raped as a child, which resonated with me because that's similar to my story. Is what the victim said in an interview that he did with NBC News. He said he was brought to meet with McClurkin after the event, and then the man took an immediate interest in him. At first, it was all very innocent and what I thought was mentoring, the victim said in the interview. But he now believes he was being groomed from the start. Well, that's when they start grooming. Soon as they meet you, they identify the victim, and then from there on, it's up. McCurkland began to molest the victim during Pray the Gay Away spiritual sessions. The lawsuit says. Wait a minute now. And the abuse escalated over the next several years. During this period, the victim worked as McClurkin's assistant and regularly traveled with him, according to the lawsuit. Oh, now the victim struggled to process these incidents of sexual abuse as McCurkin was both his mentor and his employer, making it difficult for him to speak out about the abuse he had suffered. That's what the lawsuit say, y'all. Now, another attorney for McClurkin, now 66, said the allegations are categorically false. Isn't that what they always say? Um, they go on to say, well, his lawyer go on to say, at no time did the pastor engage in any form of sexual abuse, assault, or sexual coercion with the victim. The claims set forth in the lawsuit grossly mischaracterized their interactions, which occurred over a decade, and some accusations over 2 decades ago. All these allegations are contradictory to the real facts, right? Now, after an alleged sexual assault at the Niagara Falls Hotel in 2013, I've never been to Niagara Falls. I need to go there. I need to go. I want to go and see it. Have y'all seen the Niagara Falls? I ain't never been there before. I mean, I've seen it on like videos and I've seen like, people posting and stuff, and it looks fun. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to get some braids in my head before I go. Cause listen, my hair, when it get wet, I look like a Fraggle Rock. It puffs up. I'm talking about it puffs up. Okay. I don't want to go up there like Pocahontas to come back down looking like a Fraggle Rock. You know what I mean? Now, McCurkland wrote the victim an apology email for his actions, they say. Now, let me see who wrote this. Okay, so it's saying, in quote, I am the actual um what did he say? Oh, hold on. Okay, okay. It said, I am actually a desperate, dirty old man, he allegedly wrote in the message, according to the lawsuit, pawning and grouping a young man who is just looking for a friendship and close platonic relationship with someone he wants, he wants look to help. He wants looks to for help, guidance and spirituality. I don't like how they wrote that. Okay. I feel so foul, so stupid, McCurkland added in an email, according to the victim's lawsuit. Now, that's it. Now, wait now. That's very interesting. if they got an email from that man saying that. But here's the thing, people do know how to manipulate emails. Somebody could hack into your email, send an email from your account, then it looks like you. So I don't know how much, you get what I'm saying? I don't know how much, oh, and I'm saying it because it's happened to me before. So that's why I'm saying it. I had that situation happen. Long story. I'll tell you about that another time. But yeah, somebody had sent the email from my account to somebody else, and that person had shown me the email. And I was like, I didn't send that. And then I actually went back and it wasn't in my trash can. It wasn't in my send feed. But I knew who it was because the dude who I knew, he knew this female who knew this guy who worked in IT. So yeah, you start thinking and clicking and thinking. But anyway, so yeah, so in the thing it says that McKirkland was saying that he feels so foul, he feels stupid, and XYZ or whatever. Now the gospel singer turned pastor has won three Grammy awards and sold millions of albums. His path to stardom was paved in part by Oprah Winfrey. Now who else did Oprah put on that turned into be freaks? John the Baptist, because didn't he get charged with like a whole bunch of sexual allegations and stuff. And then you got Dr. Phil. He don't have no sexual allegations, but that whole Republican thing and him being a Trump supporter was crazy, crazy, crazy. But anyway, but yeah, so yeah, he met Oprah, who in 1996 declared his self-titled album as one of her favorite things. And back then when Oprah said something was her favorite thing, it just sold out. But his childhood was very brutal. McClurkin wrote in his 2001 book, Eternal Victim, Eternal Victor, that an uncle sexually abused him when he was 8, which he believed caused his, homosexuality. He said, and he wrote in the book, said, a seed had been planted, a seed that would be my lot to struggle with for many years to come. He said in the book that reading scripture helped him to overcome the struggle. There are many more things that need to be done to break the curse of homosexuality, but that's another book, McKirkland wrote. The victim says he read McClurkin's book. He felt an immediate connection. They both grew up poor in New York, and he says that he too was sexually abused by a relative as a young boy. When are we gonna stop protecting these people in our families? These damn predators in the family, because that's where it start off at. Start off with the predators in your family. That old weird uncle in the back room that everybody tell you don't go around, but he still be around. Like, don't tell me don't go around him. Just don't have him around nobody. Or that weird auntie. I don't really hear too much about women, you know what I'm saying? But there are some some messed up women, you know what I'm saying? There's some, But so yeah, so he said that he felt a connection to the man after reading the book. And then he said the victim said that he went to McClurkin's church and followed his guidance, hoping, for the same outcome, right? He said that I truly believe he was fully delivered from his homosexuality. I was doing whatever they were saying to get rid of this out of his body, right? Now, the victim says he became Clerklin's assistant. Can I say the pastor? I don't even want to call him a pastor. I'm gonna say McClurkin. So, yeah. So the victim said that he became his assistant back in 2004, and about 2 years passed before McClurkin began to start groping him during the Pray to Gay Away sessions. On work trips, the abuse escalated to straight up sexual assault, straight up rape. Okay. The victim said in the interview and in his lawsuit, on a trip to California in 2007, McClurkin also brought his then girlfriend. The lawsuit says he still forced himself on the victim and essayed him in a hotel room. When confronted about the incident, the lawsuit says McClurkin told the victim that he was on medication and didn't remember anything. Oh, wow. Okay. Um, the lawsuit goes on to say that McClurkin further manipulated the victim, blaming him for the incident and convincing him that he was the sole culprit party. As a result, the plaintiff experienced intense shame and confusion. The abuse also took place at McClurkin's house of worship, perfecting faith church. He raped him at the church house. Oh my goodness. McClurkin would secretly grope the victim before going to preach, causing him to cry during the service, according to the lawsuit. I wonder if any, oh my God. Because see, you see somebody in church crying, you don't know if they full of the Holy Ghost or, you get what I'm saying? Or full of McClurkin, child. Oh Lord. But to be honest, I mean, I'm not trying to make light of the guy's situation, but this is absolutely crazy. Oh my goodness. Right. Okay. And then McClurkin would then use his tears to encourage other congregations to openly express emotions and all that. Oh my God. Then the victim attempted to quit his job multiple times, the lawsuit says, but McClurkin guilted him into staying. He went on to say he would always compare me to people in the Bible like Elijah uh, and referring to the prophets who had a mentor mentee relationship. There was a lot of biblical manipulation, is what he was saying. I thought I was to blame, the victim said. I was brainwashed to think that my deliverance was wrapped up in him. And that is why a lot of churches do not like enlightenment, because when you look inside, then you stop looking out. Okay? When you look inside and you find yourself, then you stop looking outwards for other people's approval. Yeah. He finally quit in 2008 and ultimately got a job at a major airline, but McClurkin continued to pursue him, right? McClurkin public profile grew during the period. The victim says he was being preyed on. The acclaimed gospel singer performed at the Republican National Convention in 2004, and in 2007, he appeared at a gospel event organized by then candidate Barack Obama's presidential campaign, sparking a backlash from gay rights groups and promoting Obama to issue a public statement saying, I strongly disagree with the Reverend Clerk's views. The victim says he became depressed and suicidal in the years after the Niagara Falls hotel incident in 2013. He attempted to take his life, and afterwards he briefly returned to the church. Oh my God. I thought, well, you strayed from God, so you got to go back to God. That's what he said. But he soon decided to leave the church and cut off all contact with McKirkland. The victim said it wasn't until last year that he came across the email McKirkland sent after the Niagara Falls incident. And what he said is, I know I apologize for my wrong attitude from Wednesday, but I want to apologize for all of my behavior that has been wrong and put you in a wrong place, is what McCoakland had wrote. I have no one, and I feel it more than ever. But I was horrible. I was horribly wrong trying to force you into something that you were consistently saying no to. I am too old to be like this. I know he lying. I know he lying. Why would this man send that email to that dude confessing his sins? The victim said the email, following years of emotional and spiritual turmoil, was a source of relief. I didn't make this up. I wasn't crazy. I felt vindicated in some ways. He's literally admitting to his guilt. Mm. Now the suit is being filed under the New York City's gender motivated violence protection law, which in 2022 extended the statute of limitations for plaintiffs to sue over sexual abuse allegations. The 2 year window closed in March 2020, but parties have, in some cases, entered into what's known as tolling agreements, which extend the statute of limitations. Now, the victim's lawyer said he hopes the lawsuit will provide his client with compensation, closure, and some measure of justice for what happened to him. Now, the victim's lawyer said that McClurkin took advantage of someone who was confused and had problems accepting his sexuality, coupled with his religious beliefs, and is really very sad. And that's very sad. The victim said he's now in a much better place, which is great. He's married and no longer feels tormented. Okay. Ever since I did embrace my sexuality and stopped trying to change it, the weight of suicide has left me. Well, I'm glad for that. I'm glad that he said, F what everybody think, and I'm going to be happy. So that's great. That's perfect. Things are still a bit more complicated when it comes to his faith. He says he's tired. He's tried to go to church, but he has been unable to sit through an entire service. Basically, he said, I listen to praise and worship music still, and that's what I consider church. So, in my aspect, though I lost friends, community, my religion, I found myself, my family, and my peace. And that's all I'm saying. Finding yourself and being at peace is way more important than friends and community and religion, because religion is man made. God is not. Ooh, did I hear that? I feel like I need to go get on the pulpit. But God is not. God is wherever you. God is in you. Look inside you. Enlighten yourself. It. You know what? Y'all know about them bishops, them pastors, and them cat. Listen, I been left the church because I always seen the plot. You get what I'm saying? Like I remember my mom went to this church, and this guy used to be an old crackhead, right? And as a teenager, because I was in the streets, I seen it in the man. You get what I'm saying? And then my best friend at the time, she was working at a Walgreens over on Adeline and right there on Adeline and Old Hammond Highway. And they had a Walgreens right there. I think it's still there actually. And this preacher, matter of fact, another preacher my mama had went to his church before. Well, she had stopped going to that church. But he came in there and I didn't know. But long story short, my friend ended up telling me, like, oh yeah, he come in there all the time. He be trying to hit on me, man, married and everything. Whole reverend. So I seen it from that aspect growing up 15, 16, 17, like just being out there in the streets, just seeing how those preacher people moved around. I already caught the play. So, and then I know a lady who is in my family who she had two kids with a preacher who, was married. You get what I'm saying? So, people are still human, you know? And, if people be, look, watch your children, cause it's getting real freaky out here. It seems like the pulpit, these preachers and these pastors are getting freakier and freakier. Or maybe it's not that they getting freaky, but it's just getting more exposed. Kind of like how with the Catholic Church, how it was discovered that they just be moving the preachers, the bishops or cardinals or whatever. They just move them around, verse, and then like pay the family money, but they don't really do anything to the people. They kind of just let it slide and say we'll pray the demon away from you. Keep your children away from people. Keep your children. Don't even have them around people you know, because that's who get them. People that you know and feel comfortable with. Those are the dangers. I get stranger danger, but sometimes it's not. It's in the call is coming from inside the house. So I'm just saying, be cautious and be careful, because where there is fire, there is smoke. And the man. Listen, I hope the man get whatever he is. I hope the man get a really nice settlement for the silver suit that he filed, and because it's sexual abuse and coercion that the civil suit is on. So I really do hope that he gets everything that he deserves, right? And McClurkin, hey, for him having these strong stance on homosexuality and deliverance and all this other stuff is absolutely disgusting. And I believe everything that man is saying. And I hope more people come out. I hope everybody come out. I hope that if you if you listening to me now and you was touched by somebody in the church house, your family members or whatever, just come out, speak your truth. I love getting on TikTok and people exposing they predators or whatnot. I remember I wasn't sexually assaulted as a child, but I do recall a moment where someone tried to. And when I tell you that man, because it was a grown man, I was a little kid. I had to been about 6 or 7, and he pulled me into the bathroom. And when he pulled me, like yanked me in there, because this was at a family home. So like he just called me and I went into the bathroom and then he pulled his thing out. And when I tell you, I got the hell up out of there and ran to my great grandmother because I was living with my great grandmother. I ran to her house and I told her what happened. I was like, he put me in the bathroom, he pulled his thing out, and I ran out of there. Child, I never saw that man again. Did he go to jail? No, he did not. But I never saw that man again ever in my life. Never saw him again ever in my life after that. So all I'm saying is just be cautious because I knew this man. This man was family. You get what I'm saying? And it was a reason why they took my word and I never seen him again. I mean, y'all already knew that this man had some things. You get what I'm saying? Stop putting these boys and girls in these situations around these people that you know are freaks and weirdos. Protect the children. Damn, is it that difficult to let children stay children and be free? What is wrong with y'all? It's like with them people be like, "Oh, I like them soon as they fresh out of high school." You fucking weirdo. If you're not 20, 21, you shouldn't be dating no 19, 18-year-old. Have some damn shame and dignity and something about yourself. Have some shame. Anything between I've always had like a no more than 4 to 7 years age gap. Like 4 years is my thing. If you more than 4 years older than me, I ain't even trying to get all in the mix with you. You get what I'm saying? Because what do we have in common? Nothing. You old. That's how I looked at it. You old. You know what I mean? I'm 16, 17, and here it is this 30, 35-year-old man. What the sir? Find somebody your own age. That's why that's why it's so important to teach your children. Because if you teach children, like I don't know where it came, well, it was taught to me. You know what I'm saying? It was taught to me. So I looked at it how it was. Old man, young girl, that's nasty. You get what I'm saying? But whatever, everybody got their own thing that they do. Some people are freaks. Some people like old people. Some people like, I'm 18 and he's 89. I love that. That's them. That's their kink. But all I'm saying is watch your children, watch your kids around people, whether you know them or not. Watch your children because it's getting to the point now where if I had a kid right now, like a small kid, baby, they wouldn't be able to go nowhere without me. And I mean, and I put that on Peter Pepper. Wouldn't be able to go. I put that on R. Kelly. Ain't going nowhere without me. You get what I'm saying? Like you want to, like how Beyonce is with Blue Ivy. Like she said, hey, when she was filming The Lion King, whenever that she was there, I'm on set. Like Ari with her little boy, Ari who date Moneybag Yo, he wanted to go and do this thing with a streamer, Ari right there. You want to spend the night? That's cool. I'm here. Because what we not about to do is I'm not about to have my child 20, 15, 20 years later telling me about something that I could have helped to prevent. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. I don't care how you feel about me. I care about how my child feels about me. But I don't care how you feel about me. But you kiss my ass. Now here go another sad, sad, weird story. So y'all remember Melissa Gilbert, right? Y'all know Melissa Gilbert from what she played in? She was on like Little House on the Prairie. I don't know what else she was in, but anyway. So Melissa Gilbert brought Christmas gifts for the child actors who were allegedly or who alleged to have been the subject of sex crimes by her husband, Tim. According to the arrest warrant. Now the Albuquerque Police Department is Albuquerque. Now is that where what's that actor who got found with his wife? You know, the guy who got found with his wife? And it was like they were saying that it might have been like some mice had like some type of disease or something and it might have caused that. Dang, I can't remember who that was. But let me go ahead on and read this story real quick, and then I'm gonna get to that because this sounds something like I seen on Slum Bella. So anyway, so the Albuquerque Police Department issued the arrest warrant on Friday, January the 9th, alleging that um Busfield, which is Melissa, there you go, right here. Look at your screen, look at your screen, look at your screen. Melissa Gilbert's husband. Okay. So they saying that Busfield, 68, engaged in unlawful sexual conduct with two boys, 11-year-old twins whose identities are being withheld because they're minors. Okay. But one of the minors alleged that the incident began when he was 7 years old. Seven. And y'all just keep, not y'all, but y'all just keep leaving y'all kids around anybody. You know, sick people get in these positions, teachers, coaches, to gain access to your kid. Because if some weirdo come up to you that's I don't know, a gardener, You can be like, "Oh, no." But just because they got a coaching hat on, you willing to just throw your churn at them and say, "All right, bring them back to me next week." Weird. I just don't get it. Now I understand why my mom was very like, "Nah, you ain't staying by nobody's house." Even though she should have knew I would say something, but it's just the whole idea of don't even put your child in that situation, right? Right. Right. Okay. Now, in the warrant obtained by People, the Officer Brown stated that he determined that Busfield and Gilbert, 61, did have a relationship with the two victims identified in the document as SL and VL and their family outside of work. They advertised that they did buy the two boys Christmas gifts and were together at, several social functions. Brown wrote in the arrest warrant referring to the statements Busfield and Gilbert made during an interview held aimed an investigation. In conclusion of his findings, Brown mentioned the Christmas gift, the Christmas gift gave, gift giving again, writing that Busfield would invite the family to offset gatherings with his wife buying Christmas gifts to foster closeness. You see, you see. Now the representatives for the Gilbert and Busfield they haven't responded. So okay. Now, an investigation into Busfield, who is known for his role as Danny Conkerman on The West Wing, began in November 2024 after a doctor at the University of New Mexico hospital alerted police about alleged sexual abuse. hmm The victim's parents told Brown that the minors were child actors who met Busfield on the set of the Fox series The Cleaning Lady, where he served as a director. The television program ran from January 22 to June 2025. The parents were advised by an attorney to take the children to the university where they said a professional suggested the boys were groomed. It was later determined, however, that the case did not meet authorities' acceptance criteria at the time. How did it not accept? You know what? Maybe they have a standard. I don't know. It just sounds weird. Child saying they're being touched on. I don't think you should have no 2 3 point part. You got to get 3 out of the 5 for us to take it seriously. What the hell? Because what happened to me was just one thing. I just seen it and I got the hooping and hollering. So you get what I'm saying? So you mean tell me y'all wouldn't even took my case because they're like, oh well, nothing happened, so she's fine. No, I am mentally scarred because I am 6 or 7 and I am seeing something I shouldn't be seeing. Somebody asking me to touch something I know I shouldn't be touching. Oh, and no, I did not. I'm telling y'all, I screamed like the Dickens and ran out of there. Okay, straight to my great grandma. Straight over there. Now, the parents were advised by the attorney, like I said, to take the child over there. Now, later in October 2025, the victim's mother filed a police report and told CPS, that's the Child Protective Service, that her children both disclosed that there was sexual abuse by Timothy from around November 2022 to spring of 2024. However, according to the warrant, she was told that because physical abuse had not occurred, nothing could be done. I would sue the department. Now, during an investigation, Busfield allegedly told police that the parents were upset their sons had been replaced with a younger actor who auditioned according to the warrant. Shortly after, the actor got a call from Warner Brothers informing him they were investigating a complaint. In a statement to People, a Warner Brothers television representative said, the health and safety of our cast and crew is always our top priority, especially the safety of minors on our production. We take all allegations of misconduct very seriously and have systems in place to promptly and thoroughly investigate and, when needed, take appropriate action. We have been and will continue to cooperate with law enforcement. That's what the spokesman said. Before the recent arrest warrant, Busfield faced prior sexual assault allegations dating back to 1994, according to the warrant. Those did not result in any charges, but you know what they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. Now, Gilbert and Busfield, how many of y'all think that she knew? Hmm. Gilbert and Busfield married in 2013, a year after reconnecting at a bar. At the time, Gilbert was newly single after splitting from her ex-husband, Bruce Boxingling. I don't know. whom she was married to from 1995 to 2011. Prior to that, she was married to Bo Brickman from 1988 to 1994. Oh, this lady ain't never had a single day. Last April, Gilbert celebrated her 12th wedding anniversary, marking the occasion with a tribute to Busfield on her Instagram page. Mm, mm, mm. Now, weeks before her husband's arrest warrant was issued, Gilbert spoke out about child sex abuse in a social media post. In November, Gilbert shared a throwback photo of herself and reflected on her Little House on the Prairie experience when she filmed with an older love interest, though she did not allege any appropriate behavior by the actor. Gilbert shared the reflective past after Megyn Kelly made comments about, you know, convicted child sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Here's my thing: where there's smoke, there's fire. And I just don't know. Some people are saying that the whole thing is bogus, that he didn't, molest anyone. It's very obvious that the people are pissed because their sons were replaced. That's Hollywood or Holly Weird, and they were counting on their children's income to support them. A pretty good evidence trail, if you will. They seem to follow the quote: if at first you don't succeed, try and try again. Some folks say, some people just feel like it's just kind of fishy. I tend to side on the kids. I tend to side with the children. I do. Call me what you want. Call me cynical, but as someone who has escaped that whole thing, I'm siding with the children on this until something else comes out or they drop it or whatever. Hey man, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just really, really weird. And then you guys were hanging with these people and all that. Like, why were you trying to get all friendly bobbing with them? You know what I'm saying? Like, they just actors. Send them a gift and go on about your business. But you're doing too much friendly bopping. Too much friendly bopping makes me think something else is going on. But I digress. Listen, if you still here, thank you so much. Oh my God. It's been a long, long live. But I really do appreciate you guys being here. And if you still here, please hit the follow button. Dang, it ain't gonna hurt you. Just click the button. It's right there. Just say click. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys for tuning in and stay and listen to my pitch. Before we close, shout out to my followers who hear this every time because you never know who's listening. I'm building a self-parting hair tool so you can part hair clean, straight, and perfectly with no extra hands needed, not even a mirror. Still in patent. I am meeting with manufacturers to scout out, those types of things, but it's real and it's coming. So when it drops, you heard it here first because I'm going to display it here first. So I want to thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you wander with me, always remember consistency is key, and I'll be back with more. So until then, be easy.